Thank you for joining me today as we talk a little bit more about what it means to be on the organic way of life. I often compare and make analogies to our choices in organic foods and organic vegetables. Historically, we have that as a marker, as a bit of an event that happens societally and culturally, that has become much more mainstream. However, there are other aspects of life that are far less mainstream than organic food that really deserve the conversation within the context of being organic. The big why around that really is to be as whole and pure as we can during these times especially. It makes sense to support our immune systems. It makes sense the same way organic food reduces toxins within the body. The importance of reducing toxins within our mind, within our spirit, within our soul, and supporting our entire being to do so. That increases immunity. It grounds us. It supports life. It is a choice in the creation of life away from the destruction of life. Now, of course, all of this is, couched within the natural life cycles of things. Yes, death is a part of life, undoubtedly. But while we have our human lives here on earth, there are things that we can do to really support the creation and the vitality of the life that we have. And this can really happen in many different ways, the food included. And when we choose one avenue to do so, it actually helps the whole. I've spoken about that before. And today, what I want to talk about, particularly in that whole constellation that is our divine beings, our ecological beings, I speak within an eco-spiritual framework predominantly, and I'm going to talk about the aura, our electromagnetic energetic field around our entire bodies, around the bodies of all living things. And if you look around you, everything is alive, essentially. Even the things that don't look like they're so alive. For example, a wooden table. But that wood, which was a tree not that long ago, still has an electromagnetic field around it. And certainly the trees that are still alive and not tables have a tremendous electromagnetic field around them, and we can relate to these beings, everything that's alive, through our electromagnetic fields. And when people say that we're all connected and everything's one, and waking up to a unity consciousness, essentially from a physics explanation, our electromagnetic toric fields that exist around all living things are in communion with one another. They overlap. So the wooden table next to me, there's an overlap of our energetic magnetic electric fields, and so everything is energetically connected in this way. And if you've been paying attention to your thoughts and to your choices and to your lifestyle and to your communication and your emotions and all of these things, and what you eat and what you put into your body, you start to realize that energetic connection more and more. When people talk about synchronicities and clues to the way life is really working and interacting and the effects your thoughts have on things, it's showing up often very quickly in the electromagnetic field. Maybe not so quickly, but then once it starts showing up, your awareness is increased to, oh wow, this really is happening. So the real reason why I want to talk about this today, though, and why I think it's really important, is because a lot of people want that connection. Let's face it, it's a huge human need to have connection on multiple levels. And often we will do things to create that connection in a way that isn't as sustaining or as organic and supportive for us and others around us. So for example, a lot of people, myself included, when I was younger, I haven't drank like this in 21 years, ironically, but a connection to alcohol. It's an addictive connection, and it can take over your life. But on the golden side of it, let's just look at it. Why would people be drawn to it at all in the first place? And it's because if you're really sensitive and empathic, it calms the nerves, right? It opens you up, it relaxes you, it eases conversation and that connection, talking about bigger ideas, connecting with others, having fun. There's a ton of really golden reasons to do that. But what we don't realize is the sort of damage that it can have on our physical bodies when used in excess, and or as a go-to, because we're not able to supply those needs, to fulfill and meet those needs outside of a toxic relationship like one can have with alcohol. And I bring this up because, well, it's kind of a quick fix, and it is addictive, and there are choices being made, especially in the spiritual community, that I've noticed this day and age, where we're wanting to study, people are wanting a broader consciousness, understanding, connection to life, and are visiting with shamans and plant medicine and all kinds of things to do so. And there's a huge range of how well that is done and how not well it is done. And you really need to do your research for yourself and make sure that it's a yes for you. There's a much bigger context. There's a much bigger eco-spiritual context, cultural context, communal context to this issue. And oftentimes we don't have that context, like the indigenous communities who have developed these ceremonies have. And you might have that for, a weekend and then not have it. And so where is your support? Or you might try doing it on your own and not have that support. I think it's really important to consider. But the points that I really want to make, that I don't think people realize, are that, for one, when you start on an organic path for yourself that includes food and other lifestyle choices, everything else in life, you can start clearing up your field, your electromagnetic field, your aura, your physical being, your emotions, your mental capacity, your spiritual capacity, okay? And that happens organically. It happens naturally. And no, it is not a quick fix. It's not a one weekend thing, but it is profound, priceless, and glorious. And I want you to know that. I have been on this path for over 5 years now, and I have diligently, on all levels that I'm aware of at this moment, and what I'm aware of is that there are many more levels, and that's the direction that I'm going. And fortunately, I made some choices, good and bad choices along, the way that have positioned me here. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm also recognizing that the care of our energetic fields, our energetic beings, needs the same diligence and attention that our physical bodies need. And that's why I'm putting a little bit of, I'm communicating a message of caution before jumping right into perhaps quicker fixer ways of creating spiritual connection and exploring multidimensionality, because actually we all have that gift. It's not just some indigenous cultures that are teaching other cultures how to do that. The multidimensionality can be found in all indigenous cultures, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from. And that's the organic path. My message is to keep your auric field and your physical body as intact as possible, because there are great natural organic rewards for that include not only multidimensionality, but an increased awareness, an increased vitality, an increased energy, and increased clarity, but increased immunity, which is really important during these times. Okay? I speak these words in love, in peace, and in our shared connection. Okay. Much love. Thank you.